All right, today we are diving deep into Iagon's massive vision for 2026. And what's so fascinating about this is that it isn't just a story about some far-off promise. Nope, it's about real, tangible progress that's happening right now. And it all kicks off with one single, crucial technical upgrade. Let's get into it.
But first, let me ask you something. What does real progress actually look like to you? Is it a big, bold promise for what's coming years down the road? Or is it something you can actually see and touch and, confirm is working today? Iagon's recent moves give us a really interesting answer to that question.
Any ambitious plan for the future, it has to be built on a solid foundation. It just has to. And for Iagon, it's no different. For them, the whole thing starts with one really crucial upgrade.
And that first major step is the rollout of their Rust Node Core upgrade. Now, this isn't just some random item they're checking off a list. This is the first domino to fall in a much, much bigger strategy, and it proves that their plans are already in motion.
Okay, so you're probably hearing Rust Node Upgrade and thinking, what on earth is that? And more importantly, why should I even care? Well, let's break down exactly what it is and why it's such a big deal for the entire ecosystem. The absolute easiest way to think about a node upgrade is to imagine you're swapping out the engine in your car. From the outside, the car looks exactly the same, totally familiar, but under the hood, it's a brand new machine. By rewriting their core code in Rust, they're using a programming language that's famous for being super safe and incredibly fast. So the whole system just runs better, more efficiently, and way more reliably.
And get this isn't just some coming soon teaser. Phase 1 is already done. It's complete. The Rust Node release has been successfully rolled out, and it's live right now for all Cyclone users. The team is already shipping. They're delivering.
And the results you can actually feel are pretty impressive. We're talking about way better performance and stability across the board. A teeny tiny memory footprint around 15 megabytes, which is amazing. Much more stable communication across the network, and even better ways to manage settings and benchmarks. These aren't just vague promises. They're specific, measurable upgrades to the network's core.
But look, you can't just flip a switch on something this massive. That would be a recipe for disaster. So Iagon isn't doing that. Instead, they're being really smart and executing a well-planned, phased rollout to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. And this timeline just perfectly illustrates how careful they're being. They started with Cyclone users back in April, got that done, then they're moving step by step through Linux, Windows, and macOS users, all before making the big web UI live. This approach lets them give focused support to each group as they go. It's just smart.
So, we've seen the foundation, that first critical step. Now, let's zoom out. Let's connect the dots and see how this one technical upgrade fits into their much, much bigger grand vision for 2026.
And here it is, the whole shebang, the full 2026 roadmap. Now, if you look really close, down in the bottom left corner, for Q1, under the upgrades track, what do you see? The Rust Node Core upgrade. That's right. The single foundational step we've been talking about is literally the official kickoff for this entire multi-year plan.
Now, the really important thing to get here is that this isn't just one long to-do list. The roadmap is actually built across 3 parallel streams. Think of it like they're pushing forward on 3 different fronts, all at the same time.
So stream number 1 is all about enterprise. This is the real-world adoption stuff. We're talking major integrations with big partners like Verth and Fireblocks, and then pushing for customer expansion and scaling up how people use the platform all year long.
Then you've got stream number 2, products. This is where they build the tools that make the ecosystem tick. You see things like Iagon Insight, but also really fundamental stuff like the stature reputation model. That's basically a system that helps verify and reward the most reliable node providers, which builds a ton of trust in the network.
And finally, we have the upgrade stream, which, should sound pretty familiar. This is right where we started. The Rust Node upgrade is just the beginning. That's followed by new apps, a brand evolution, and new SDKs for developers. This track is all about making sure the engine under the hood is constantly getting fine-tuned.
So when you put all of these pieces together, a really powerful story starts to take shape. This isn't just a story about ambition. It's a story about ambition being met with real, concrete execution.
And that's the bottom line here. By kicking off the year with a successful, delivered core upgrade, Iagon is sending an unmistakable message. Their 2026 roadmap is not just a pretty picture on a slide. It is a plan that is already in motion, right now.
Of course, it's always important to keep things in perspective. The team themselves are very upfront about this, including a disclaimer that says, this is a reference, and timelines might change. And honestly, that kind of transparency is exactly what you want to see. It shows they're ambitious, for sure, but they're also realistic about the real world of development.
So there you have it, a story that connects a super technical, deep-in-the-weeds upgrade directly to a huge, multi-year vision for the future. It's ambition, but it's backed up by immediate action. The journey has absolutely begun. So looking at this whole plan, the real question is, what part of this journey are you most excited to see unfold?